Okay, so I'm going to talk about the layout of our site for a little bit because, frankly, it sucks. I don't even know where to begin, honestly. I guess I'll go with the default skin since that's probably the only one MBXX actually cares about. I appreciate the logo and stuff. I mean, you did what you could there. It's festive, I guess. Um, so first, I'll start by saying I don't understand why the header image is so incredibly compressed. It looks like garbage. I just don't have a way to like sugarcoat that because it looks pixelated and blurry. And all you really have to do is compare it to like any other skin. And these are already pretty compressed, by the way. You can tell they're pretty compressed JPEGs as it is, so I'm sure they're not taking that much bandwidth. Um, then it's like the header image really clashes with the background, um, because you have a gradient that goes from this orangey sort of color to a dark gray, and then immediately into this off-white color in the background. And this has been the case for many years. We used to have like a thin strip of white here on this header. I don't know if you can see the cursor. Um, and I didn't think the strip looked any better, but I actually made some stock images where I changed the way the gradient transitions into this color here. And the dark skin is using one of those versions. The white skin had another one where I shifted the top gradient from a darker color to a lighter color so it would transition better. But we're not using that. I don't know why. I've suggested that like 1,000 times by now. But anyway, that's like minor, I guess. It looks really bad, but that's minor. Actual layout feedback I can give. Like it's nice. I can see that we've really trimmed the announcements. We used to have like a load of announcements, and this is a page where I'm not logged in, so I haven't chosen to close anything yet. And this is good. It's a much slimmer version than what we used to have. So kudos there. Appreciate this button here. It's nice. It really pops. The whole sign up now, login thing. That's good. Rules and FAQ. I feel like if you want to have this at the top for users that are not logged in, especially the FAQ, I guess that's probably a good idea. But once you're logged in, I just can't fathom having things like rules and FAQ in big bold letters, big bright buttons at the top, like indefinitely forever. By the same token, I don't understand. Actually, I'll get to this later. I don't understand why you have this up top forever, because it's like rules are something you read once and peruse when you need to, right? No one comes to the site thinking, shit, I really need to read those rules again. That's not like a selling point at all. This is not good use of layout real estate, in my opinion. The rules and FAQ buttons are useful for new users, and they're useful to refer to when you have a case where you have to explain to someone, okay, you did this and you shouldn't have done that, and you can easily check the rules and FAQ here. But here's the thing. When it comes to user support, things like moderator-related stuff, that stuff should actually be further down the layout, because you want users to want to use your site. You want the features they want to use to be front and center. So, like, one thing that puzzles me is I have no idea why new profile posts is like the second to last widget we have. Form statistics being at the bottom, that makes sense. Members online now, I mean, you have to understand, this is such a towering thing, especially like look at this. This is with CSS, I guess you disabled. I can see why you did. But yeah, look at this. This is a towering widget that is completely useless to the vast majority of people. You also had, I think, the trend. Yeah, this trending thing. Okay, so the truth is we are still not leveraging this very well, and I'm probably not the best person to tell you what to do with this, but I respect that there's a logical reason to want to use the trending widget and wanting people to tag their posts and get people involved socially. Like, I'm not the kind of person that really engages with this, but I see the worth in it, so that's fine. But like, if you see the use of the trending widget, I don't understand how you can't see that new profile posts is a widget that actually drives activity and interactivity between users, and you'd want this to be front and center. This new profile posts is a good widget that drives activity. It gets people engaged with one another. This is something you want towards the top. This members online now, this is a garbage widget that is like, statistics are important, don't get me wrong. It's useful, but it's the kind of thing that you think, you know what? I'd like to see who's online now, and you scroll down a bit. It is not the kind of thing that engages you. In and of itself, it will not make you excited. I see the worth, for example, in having a widget that displays people you're following online. And I know this one does that too, but you should consider possibly, if you're concerned primarily about giving visibility to friends and stuff, that are people who are following you or people you follow online at the moment, you might want to do so in a way that doesn't eclipse like possibly the most important widget we have on the sidebar in terms of keeping people here. User retention should be our top priority right now. Making people happy in the site at the moment should be our top priority right now, because we do not have a big influx of new people. And visually speaking, unfortunately, I have to say that our site is just, it's ugly. It has not looked good in a long time. I think we should actually seriously consider either importing entirely new skins and adapting them to our add-ons and needs, and doing so in a more stratified fashion, because our skins at this point have been edited by so many different people, and there's so little documentation on that every time we have to edit a template, we can never merge parent changes. And those of you with skin powers among staff know what I'm talking about. It's very difficult to make changes in an organized manner because our skins are not really structured right, because we have so many individual fixes in each and every skin, and sometimes some people will work on one skin but not on all, and they won't like propagate decent, good changes to all skins equally. And sometimes skins are actually based off of different parent skins, so internally the skins are structured in a completely different manner, and editing things becomes more and more chaotic as time goes on. We've already piled so many of these microfixes, and I honestly truly believe that, particularly because they look so bad, and this is like no diss to any of you, because I mean, I've worked on these. I know MBXX has worked on these a lot. I personally don't agree with a lot of the recent changes, but I'm sure everyone feels the same way about any number of other changes over the years. I think what we can all agree on is that this is not a very pleasant, very professional look for the site current year. So, yeah, I think just tackling the widget problem should be our just top priority, because it's piss easy to do. I'm not going to do it because the last time I did it, MBXX got really, really upset with me. Apparently, messing with the widgets is a really bad thing. So that's all I'm doing at this point, is just telling you what I think you're doing wrong, and I just feel obligated to do it because it's hard to look at the site. It just doesn't make any sense to me why you'd have like this widget takes so much layout real estate for no reason at all. None. Just no reason. The only thing worthwhile about this widget is displaying people that are following you or that you follow on top of every other, and that will get members somewhat engaged, I guess. Actually, that touches on another thing. So the staff online now thing. This is useful, but this is useful in the same way that the rules and FAQ buttons are useful. It's useful to refer to when you have a problem. You should not structure the layout of your site based on worst case scenario type deal. If you go to a site like Amazon and stuff, Amazon support is towards the bottom. People know that when things go wrong, you look for, contact information or customer support or whatever. If they need help, so they scroll down a bit further. Their day-to-day use is not based around, is there a moderator online? What are the rules on FAQ? It's, where are my friends? what's everyone posting about right now. That's why this comes back to this, 'cause I'm not logged in on this page because I just wanted to show the new user experience. But this whole trending widget that shows up when you're logged in, I think this is a good idea at heart. I don't know how we can make this better, integrate it better with the forum, but I understand this being a good idea. I think this is good philosophy there, but I don't understand why we have such a mixed direction when it comes to this, where you're putting the social aspect front and center. That's good. And then you go with a useful but not appealing aspect of the layout here with the Staff Online Now thing, and then this towering Members Online widget, which is just gross and useless, and you're bearing the new profile posts widget all the way down here. So in my opinion, the order this should be in with, honestly, like, take your pick for social widget ordering, but the social widget order, or the social widgets should be towards the top, like either new profile posts first and trending second, or trending first and new profile post second. We can create a new widget that shows just people you follow or people who are following you that are online. That would go below those because that's still a social kind of widget. Below that, you could put Members Online Now if you want. I would put Staff Online Now, and then Members Online Now, and then Forum Statistics. You'd still have access to all that information. Oh, and of course, I would put the rules and FAQ pretty much close to the Staff Online Now. And basically, you would have... and also, by the way, since we're touching on that, like this, just design-wise, I do think, again, for a permanent kind of widget, because like some of these skins don't even have those widgets on. And I think, frankly, the website looks better for it. But I also see the worth in having these easily accessible. But insofar as the look of them, I do think it clashes with the layout somewhat. But like that's beside the point. The most urgent thing would be get the useful but rarely used widgets towards the bottom. And trust me, anyone that needs to contact staff or needs to consult the rules, they will know to scroll towards the bottom. This wiki thing, honestly, I haven't looked at it enough to give you a proper proper feedback on this. I remember I question its worth since we are a forum, and I'm not sure what you're doing really with the wiki. I think if you want to have like a schedule for upcoming anime and stuff, that's a really good idea. Like Analyst.com have like a chart that shows you seasonal anime. I think that's a good idea. I don't think the wiki formats is good enough for that, but just having a simple widget that dynamically displays upcoming anime, I think that's good. That's social aspect type thing that you want to have front and center in your site. Not sure that this implementation is good, but the idea is good. What was I saying? So yeah, like this sucks. This is just ugly as sin. Also, let's see. We have a multitude of skins. I don't know if we have any way to get statistics on skin usage to see who's using, like how many people, what's the percentage of users, especially users that are like active today, using each skin. We should use that as a baseline if we consider building new skins from the ground up. Just, basically, we don't necessarily need incredibly talented people for this. We need to go online and look for either free or reasonably priced resources that will give us a good stock parent skin that will fulfill most of our needs by default. We can add on top of that, but then from that point onward, every skin should be a child of that parent skin, so that whenever we make template changes, we can merge them each and every time. And maybe build up a habit of whenever you give skin powers to someone to document every change that they make. Despite the fact that these should be, like these sorts of snapshots of the templates should be built into the Zen4 admin CP. We go through so many changes over the years, and not everyone has equal access to everything, that I would appreciate it if anyone that had the kind of access to access these skins to document as much as you can. Any changes you make, put it in text. And that was my cat. But yeah, like until we decide to make comprehensive changes to the way we structure the skins themselves, and just honestly just give up on these old skins that we have and start from the top with a new base. The least we could do is reorder the sidebar, the widgets in the sidebar, because like I said, I don't think this makes any sense whatsoever. Somewhat related to this, I think we should heavily consider the structure of our forum layout. I can't understand still having like, okay, so the Akihabara district I think is what we should bet the most on, being primarily an anime website. These are the subsections that discuss individual anime. We should seriously consider promoting more and more of these gallery entries. They stack pretty well and they don't take a lot of page real estate. They look really nice. They pop out a lot. This being towards the top, like when you first come to the website, I actually think it's kind of inexcusable that once you first load the website, you don't see any anime related stuff at all, and that's I can't understand that at all. Like these announcements are taking a shit ton of space, but even if we consider not having them, well, let's pretend the Ninja Council isn't there. You still have the Ambu Central taking up most of the space. And then you have the Naruto Avenue, which is, I mean, it's a good idea. I don't know if we can afford to like lose the dedicated Naruto section yet, or at least not in its current form. It has, to my knowledge, I don't know, you guys can tell me that, but I think it does have still a lot of activity. But again, even the thing is, if we make a new skin from the ground up, we can consider better usage of real estate. We consider wider layouts. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a shit ton of unused space, and I'm on a 1080p resolution, so this is not uncommon. I think most people nowadays are browsing the web at 1080p. I don't know if you browse with a smaller window, but still, you're still looking at a skin that could stand to be a bit wider. Don't need the admin CP up. Yeah, we could stand, I think, to use the space a little better, and we can stand to have maybe an even more robust Akihabara gallery. All we really need to turn, for example, Naruto into a subsection of the gallery without losing anything, because this makes you feel like, okay, we're paying a lot of real estate to Naruto, and that's a good thing. And I don't disagree. And under our current structure, it's difficult to feed important information like individual subsection threads and posts, the latest post, blah blah blah. It's kind of difficult to do that with just CSS workarounds like we're doing for forum descriptions at the moment. I know, kidding. But yeah, like if we actually did a skin from the ground up, we can consider all those things beforehand, think about how we construct this, and we could actually build a website. We should also consider, this I'm going off on several tangents, but we should also consider like a portal website, a proper portal website. We could make this ourselves. I think we have several people that could help. I could help. Yeah, we can make a decent portal website that would make good use of layout real estate. It would be pretty practical. It wouldn't waste so much time or so much space with just vertical text content. And you'd see things pop out more like this, and you'd still get individual stats for each thing if you wanted. You could have things that are like more interactive, where like there's smaller entries when you first come to the website, but like you could hover and expand them with just mouse. Just a more modern, responsive kind of website. Anyway, that's probably a matter for another day. Widgets. We need to reorder these widgets, in my opinion.